Alright, be my Benjamin, welcome back. Oh, did I sound right? Don't even know. We're not actually that sleepy, I think. Well, not really, but we are gonna go on a treadmill because, yeah, I don't have a reason why I do. It's because we are gonna be going a different arm day today, so we're gonna be probably gonna go on the bench or the Smith machine and doing close grip bench press, which targets the triceps. Besides that, though, yeah, yesterday was nearly the same as Wednesday and Tuesday. Okay, so kind of the same as like Tyler 1. We streamed for like 8 hours yesterday. Actually, we actually kind of did nearly, nearly. You know, we nearly did. We did 4 hours of Arc, right, and then like 3.5 hours of Overwatch. So basically 7 hours and 30 minutes we streamed yesterday. Not bad. Currently, the PC right now is just kind of rendering everything, which might take. I'm not sure when it's done, but it shouldn't be too long. I think. Well, yesterday it managed to finish like a 90% of the work at like 10. So yeah, it's kind of about it. Now we're yesterday in Arc series did pretty decent, pretty good, but we are slowly reaching a grinding phase in Aberration. I think maybe there's still a lot to do, like get an egg, something like that. Is there anything else to talk about? Not really. Don't think there's anything to talk about. Hmm. Oh yeah, we got really tilted at Overwatch yesterday. Well, not tilted, but we were literally on like a terrible lose streak. It's kind of interesting. Bro, we cannot play support. No, I think I'm just coping. But if you watch March 2025 Overwatch stream, man, we were healing non-stop, but we kept losing. And even though I should say this, but like, no, I will say it. I swear we didn't even do bad. Like every game in support we played, we did decent, except for honor games, I guess. But whenever we played Juno, we did really good. We also learned that honors actually. Oh no, we also learned that Mercy's not really that good. Juno's heals are a lot better because we can aim. I think the only problem in competitive is that honors are really good because like how do you say it? When we play Juno and we're killing our teammates, the enemy honor seems to always hit their like grenade, which basically stops my teammate from getting kills for like a couple seconds, and then by the end they're dead. But then when we try to play honor, we just get flanked instantly and then die. So it is what it is. I guess yesterday wasn't too bad though because every time we played quick play, we did really good in soldier. So no lie without dark, I guess. But the funny thing is that if we play attack damage in 5v5, we just get absolutely destroyed. Yeah, it is what it is. I don't even know why we play 5v5. I don't even know why we play rank. Is there anything else to talk about? Not really. Golden Hour seems. Hmm. There seems to be. Golden Hour's interesting. Oh well. It was like raining this morning. So the car park was less than five numbers. And that's all I'm gonna say. I think I said this many times, but if you're a if you're a woman, you shouldn't come to the gym this early in the morning. It's not a good idea. shouldn't come, just go during busy hours, you know. We've seen those horror stories. That's right. Is what it is. You know what nah, I don't, I shouldn't do it, but I might. But as much as Overwatch is decent, we really can't play ranked. It's just, hmm. I am thinking of going to, nah, is it the dark side? I can't even remember. Obviously, League is the dark side, but I feel like we can do a lot better in competitive here. But also, nah, I'm good. I don't know. Hold on, something's wrong with my stomach. What's going on with my stomach? Hold on. Let me just, let me try to resist that. Hold on. Something's happening. It felt it like just like 30 seconds ago. Like, stomach was like, oh. Alright, you said we didn't get any sun. So tragic. It was like no sun yesterday, so basically stayed inside all day. Still no, not bad, right? Because it's not even winter yet. Bro, the moment it's winter, I'm dead. Winter sucks. I used to like winter back in the day, but as you get later, winter actually is cold as. Hmm. Okay. The stomach pain's gone away for now, but is there anything else to say besides that little stomach pain? Not really. Surprisingly, we're actually finishing the water a lot faster today. Must have been thirsty. Well, what is it? What is there to do today? Let me think. What is there to do today? Well, we've got today's arm day, which should be pretty chill because arm days always arm days take the longest, but we're doing a different variation today, so it won't be that bad. Then we've got Alpha 2 regime, typical. And then we've got food, normal. Then we got Earth logs, which are actually editing a lot faster than usual now. Yep. And then training and then eating them. You have a stomach pains back again. What? Stomach pains back again. How's the stomach pain back again? It's like it happened when we walked. It happened when we went to like speed 5. But when we go back to speed 3, we're chilling. It's really weird. I might not be at the speed, but it might be as well. Because right now we're walking at 3 speed while holding the rails, which relieve a lot of pressure off our area. Okay, the stomach fan's gone again, so we'll go back to speed 5. Okay, the stomach fan's not there, but we just gotta 3 speed for now. We're not actually sleeping, by the way. We're trying to like get rid of something in our body, but I don't see it. Look, there's nothing really to talk about, to be honest. Everything else is just kind of normal stuff related. It's not like big events and stuff like that because they're in everything. Yeah, how my stomach's hurting again. It doesn't make sense. We're not even on anything fast. We just got another one. Something's really, I don't know what's going on, but stomach's hurting again. It's not very ideal, is it? Stomach pain's gone again. I don't know what's going on with the stomach pain. It's like coming in and out, in and out. It's like for a few minutes it's, what do you call it? For a few minutes it's gone. No, it's there. And then a few minutes later it's gone again. And then it comes back. So, yeah. Hmm. The sound barrier is gone for some reason. Usually it's gone at like different time. Alright, never mind. The sound barrier is back. Alright, we're pretty much, oh, we're good now. The stomach pain's gone again. So, that's pretty good. Huh. I don't think we actually covered any topics. I was more just about the stomach pain and recovering it. That was about it. And besides that, now I think we just go straight towards stretching, and then we're gonna do arm day via the other variations, which require not the same cables. We're gonna be using, either the Smith machine or the normal bench to do the triceps. I think the Smith machine and triceps are maybe slightly better, but it really just depends, right? Depends on what's there. Well, obviously the Smith machines are free, but I'll see. Maybe we might not do it without a Smith machine. So we only did like 96, only 96 calories with like 1.9 miles, something like that. I think it's like the first time we've actually stretched here before, but we kind of have to. Did I leave my phone? It looks like we're probably going to be using the Smith machine, because I see it's empty and it's like flat already, so not bad. No stomach pain now. Look, we might not go to aberration today. I feel like we did like 8 solid hours of aberration in like the 2 days. Well, it looks like this thing's kind of already set up for us. I think it might be alright. Not bad. I think we need to go lighter though. It's not bad. We just need to be a bit lighter. We are hitting the triceps a tiny bit. That's what happens when you do close grip bench. We target the triceps. We also need to drink the water. We do need to drink the water as well. That's what's tripping. This, for some reason, I should probably finish off the water as well. Yep, that targets the triceps. Alright, it's not bad. About time to start finishing off the waters. Is there anything else to talk about? Oh yes, there's one thing. Fuck mosquitoes, man. Hate them. Well, no, hate's a strong word, but I understand there's no life without dark, you know. But man, is the payoff is annoying, right? It's like mosquitoes take like such a small amount of blood, and then they leave such an annoying as wound. But I guess it is what it is. No life without dark, right? But yeah, nah, it's like nothing to talk about. Literally. I guess what should we do today then? Do I don't really want to do. I think I've burnt myself out on aberration a bit. Maybe. We're on like 4 5s now. Is there anything else to say? Not really. I mean, we're on like 4 5s now, and we are definitely doing the triceps quite nicely. Golden hour today seems decent. Only thing is like the sound barriers. I feel like the sound barrier is a bit quieter than usual. Usually it's a bit louder, but it's fine. Should be drinking the water. I think we've kind of burnt ourselves out on aberration a bit. Kind of. Well, not really. I mean, I can't really say much because if I see what I'm going to spoil myself. Can't say in these vlogs anymore because we're too advanced. And but let's say we did pretty good in aberration for now. I think we're also done with Aquatica. I don't think there's anything on Aquatica for us. Well, no, the Aquatica still has like bosses and stuff, but we don't really like doing that. Okay, we're on 5 5s. It's the last one, and then we'll move on to the next tricep thing. Well, What do we want to exactly do today? Hey, do I even want to go vengeance on Overwatch? I think we might. Reason is because uh, it's challenging, I guess. No, no idea. What? Bro left so fast. Not that I'm judging or anything, but bro came like 20 minutes ago and he just gone again. You know what? Let's not judge too fast. He might have forgot something in the car. Probably gonna come back. Shouldn't judge, but who knows? He might have had an emergency. You never know. It hit the triceps okay this time, but it wasn't that like muscle ripping. Sorry though. He's what it is. Alright. Now we've got this thing here. What do you call it? The tricep hammer skull crusher. No, not hammer. It's just called skull crusher. I think we usually do like 12 kgs. I'll go 14 this time. See how that goes. You know the usual though. Make sure. I mean, no one's here right now. This golden hour is decent to a degree. Like you got one group on. You got like treadmills on the 1900, and then I've got like a someone without any kind of with no sound barriers on 2 o'clock, and someone else with no sound barriers coming at like 2000. That's good. 14 kgs is on the heavier side, but it's alright. Yeah, I might as well maybe slowly prepare for the biceps. I just need to find those things. What a shame. You know, those really nice, like, gripping things that we saw, I think, last week? They're gone now. There's, like, brand new ones. They're gone. The ones I had, like, yeah, they're gone for some reason. I guess someone probably just stole them, yoinked them, is what it is. You know what I mean? Yeah, those bicep things are definitely gone. Sorry, that is what it is. Pretty chill. Ooh, I almost just broke my toe. Whoops. Nearly just chopped on my toe. Would have been tragic. I use the word tragic a lot now. When did I start using that word? Beats me. No word, no word. Is there anything else to talk about? No. There's nothing to talk about. Golden Hour's actually looking a lot more better. Golden Hour's. The reason I say that is because even though there's more people coming in, it really just depends because this place is just this gym's just so huge that like straight up Golden Hour could be really good if you're like opposite of everyone else, but if everyone starts coming towards you, then Golden Hour's pretty bad. But right now, Golden Hour's pretty good. No one here's nearby. Good place. To myself, is there anything to talk about? Not really. Honestly, might not even touch Aberration today. I don't think we might not even touch Arc today, but we're definitely gonna touch. I'm definitely gonna touch Overwatch today. Don't know why. Feel like Tyler won with the League of Legends, but I don't want to play League of Legends. Nah, I'm good. I'm good on League. Is there anything else besides those though? Nah, I don't know. But Overwatch has got no lore. That's like the only downside of Overwatch. There's no lore to it. Yeah, Overwatch has got zero lore to it. That's why it makes it challenging, I think. Because it just depends. Because Overwatch is just like, how do you say it? It's heavily reliant on others. Whereas, like, for example, when it comes to like Ark Survival, right? When you start scaling, you don't you just continue scaling until like you're good. So like we've kind of in Arc in Aberration we've kind of hit a good point. You know, it's like oh we're pretty good now. Kind of like when it came to like the Narwhal squadron, right? Once I figured out how strong my Narwhal squadron was, it was like oh you know cool we did it. Strong army done. So that's the kind of the same for Aberration, but there's no lore to Overwatch. Maybe I'm gonna go find a different game. Maybe something with like a story. I haven't done a horror game in a while. That Chiller's Art one was really good, but the only problem with it's not yeah the only problem with most of the horror games, right, is that I already watched people play it already when I was younger. Like you know, Chiller's Art has like you know what do you call it? It's got like the convenience store and all these other ones that I've seen Jacksepticeye and Markiplier play already. So when it comes to horror games, I don't really like to spoil myself. I mean, I can't exactly remember the jump scare, but I can remember like most of it, right? So definitely not gonna play. I can't really play too many horror ones. The streamer one, I never played that one, so that's why that one was good. But there's a lot of chiller arts that I've seen people play already, so there's no point in me playing because I won't have the same reaction. All right, one more, and we should probably do the biceps. So I guess I'll go set up the biceps now. I think you guys can actually see me in the background, so I should do that now. All right, let's set it up. It's ready. Yeah, so we can't even do any hunting and fishing today either because weather's terrible. Well, not weather's terrible, but it's not optimal conditions. I need to find more stuff to Valor. Fuck, there's no. Ark's like the only lore thing, right? Do I want to? Hmm, can't can't do Minecraft, right? Can't do Minecraft. I'm gonna get scarred. Nah, Minecraft's boring. No, I can't do a Minecraft series. You know hard. Nah, I don't know. I played too much Minecraft when I was younger to really try it hardcore. Oh no. Alright, yeah, no, drill some bicycles. We actually haven't even finished the order yet. Whoops. We should probably wash our hands. Hands smell like metal. There is one Chilla Arts game I want to try out that I haven't actually seen people play yet. It's called Unagi. It's like a couple hours though. I reckon I could grind it all out in one day. It's like 20 bucks though. I think today you guys get this story video because it's nothing else to talk about. I'll give you guys a story video. Why not? Do I? Probably. Oh, my stomach's hurting again. What? Oh, what the hell? We'll be right. Push, push past it. It's alright. There's no time to. Let's go check our weight and then more biceps and see if we can find anything else to talk about. But are we really running out of series to do again? Oh, nuts. I mean, it's not like I haven't finished Aberration yet, but still. 70.45. Okay, I'm gonna quickly wash my hands. Hold on. Fun fact, we haven't actually gone to a different gym in a while. I think it's nearly been like a couple weeks since we've last been to like a different gym. Mainly because, yeah, like I think like 2 weeks we were like sleepy. I think, can't remember. One week we were definitely sleepy and we always came here. We haven't gone to a new one in a while. I think ever since, hold on, shut up. Matter of fact, you know that Palms area, the one with the red sauna, that that premium gym. Fun fact, I never went back there after that one incident. Well, incident, it wasn't an incident. It was just annoying me, right? The one that premium gym with the red saunas, right? The reason I stopped going there is because that one moment when I literally went during diamond hour, and then all of a sudden, like we were doing the treadmill, like 10 minutes in, a fucking oh sorry, misogynist, but a woman came, and then that literally cancels out the entire area. I had to leave, that entire premium area and go back to the other gym, the other, like the Brokey side, right? But even that was like not even good golden hour either. It was just like it was like terrible, especially because that I mean yeah that premium gym's nice, right? But the moment one person walks in, it just destroys the entire diamond hour. It even destroys golden hour too because it's such a small premium spot, but you know roof's shorter. No, the ceiling is shorter. It's like literally, like not even joking, that premium gym is literally smaller than this entire bench area. Like this bench area here is literally bigger. So this gym here is like what one section, two, three, four, five, six. It's like nearly 12 to 8 times the size. Do you know how big that is compared to the premium spot? Like at least if a woman comes over here or like another guy comes over here, at least you know one sound barriers, two very tall roof. Okay, voice is very hard to hear. And three, I could always just walk to the other side, right? But also, yeah, it's just that spot's just annoying. I'm gonna have to give you guys a story video. Stomach is actually dying, so I'm gonna call it early. Is what it is. Alright, appreciate it. Alright, see you guys next time. Enjoy the story video, whatever we find. Damn, look at the prices now. Oh, it is three. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Is what it is. You know what I mean? Is what it is. Oh, we have these, right? Look at the price now. They've literally doubled in price. Before, that's actually more expensive. Hold on. When we got these, we bought these at like $500 on Amazon. Bro, they are now they're like double. That's a crazy jump. Like literally 10 days ago it was like here. Now it's here and it's just going up and up. So these SSDs we have up here are actually now more valuable than ever. Huh. Interesting. We bought them at like $500. They're like nearly triple the price now. Kind of insane. Sorry, I was coughing. Alright, so Mr. Nightmare has dropped a very, was this 4 true knock at the door horror stories. Lock in. I did say I was gonna give you guys a horror video, a story video today, so we'll probably do 2 stories because it's 26 minutes. Alright, let's go, lock in, right? Ah, it's gonna give me an ad. Shut up, shut up. 5K, 4K? For what? Why? What do we need that for, huh? You know what I mean? Man. Gideon's still alive? Day 1? Day 2, shut up. Creeping knocking horror stories. Now, this context depends because if you have a compound with a gate, they can't reach your front door. Okay? So, if you have a house, you'll want to get a compound and a gate. So,
Nobody can actually access your door without going through the gate first. And even if you have a door by a door lock, okay, what are those called again? Door lock. Don't dox me. Door lock bolt. How come I can never find out what they're called? Just guess I'm gonna door lock bolt, okay? Alright, also get a camera. And you're pretty much good from random knocks, you know? Is what it is, right? Lock in. Story 1 by Anomalous.
I was living alone in a small rental house just outside town when this happened. It was a one-story place at the end of a short dead-end road. There were only 5 houses on the street, and at night, it was usually quiet. I worked from home doing freelance graphic design, so most days I didn't leave unless I had to get groceries. I didn't get visitors often. My friends usually texted before coming over. That's why the first knock stood out. It was around 8:40.
So, Home Alone. Single house as a graphic designer. Chill.
5 at night on a Thursday. I was in the living room watching TV when I heard 4 firm knocks on the front door. I muted the TV and waited, thinking maybe I imagined it. Then there were 2 more knocks. I got up and walked to the door. There's a small peephole in the center of it. When I looked through, I saw a man standing on my porch holding a medium-sized cardboard box. He was wearing a dark jacket and a baseball cap. He looked normal, maybe mid-30s. I opened the door, but kept the chain on. He
Smart. Kind of. Ish.
immediately said that he had a delivery that required a signature. He read a name off a small handheld device. It wasn't my name. It wasn't even close. I told him he had the wrong address. He looked down at the box, then at the device, then back at me. He read the address out loud. It was my exact address. I told him no one by that name lived here. He stared at me for a second longer than necessary. Then he said he must have been given the wrong information and would take it back to the truck. I watched him walk back down my driveway. I expected to see a delivery van or at least a car parked somewhere nearby, but there was nothing. He walked past my mailbox and turned the corner at the end of the street. I didn't see where he went. I shut the door and locked it. I told myself it was just a small company delivery or maybe a contractor driver without a marked vehicle. The next night...
That is true sometimes. Okay, sometimes the post office man doesn't even have, like, the company car, but they've got a van still. I've seen it multiple times. Okay, the post office man, he might not have his, like, post office van, but when I look in the cameras, you can see that his van's obviously got a whole bunch of boxes inside. So, yeah, that does happen. Some delivery drivers have unmarked vehicles. Sometimes, you know, it is what it is. All right. So far, it's kind of a is what it is moment, right? You already got a door chain lock. I guess security cameras would be nice as well, but at the same time, wouldn't you be tracking what you order? You'll be tracking what you order, right? If you know you didn't order anything, then yeah. But hey, smart. Didn't sign or anything.
At almost the exact same time, there were 3 knocks again. This time I didn't open the door right away. I went to the peephole first. It was the same man with the same jacket and box. I didn't open the door.
Smart.
I just spoke through it and told him he already came by and that no one with that name lived here. He didn't answer right away. Then he said he just needed a signature and that the system showed the package had to be delivered tonight. I told him I wasn't signing for someone I didn't know.
Smart.
There was a long pause. Then he said okay and stepped back from the door. I stayed at the peephole. Instead of walking away right away, he stood at the edge of the porch looking at the house. He slowly turned his head toward my front windows, then toward the side of the house, then back at the door. After about 15 seconds, he finally walked down the driveway. Again, I saw no vehicle. That's when it started to feel wrong. On the 3rd night, there was no knock. I actually felt relieved. I thought maybe he figured out the mistake.
You know, at this point, if that happened the second time, I'd probably get like a security camera. Just saying. But even if it's a security camera, he just said he looked at the side of the house. Does that mean he could enter your backyard without? Don't let me guess. He could enter your side of the house without a gate or anything. That he could just walk in.
I even joked to myself about how weird it would have been if he showed up again. On the fourth night, I was in the kitchen washing dishes around 9 p.m. when I heard 4 knocks. It wasn't on the front door. It was on the side of the house near the dining room window.
GG.
I slowly walked into the dining room and looked toward the window, but no one was there. Then there were 4 more knocks at the front door. I went to the peephole, and it was him again.
Cool,
This time he wasn't holding a box. His hands were empty. I didn't say anything, and he knocked again. Then he stepped back and looked directly at the peephole. I stepped away from the door so he couldn't see movement, and I didn't make a sound. After about 30 seconds, he turned and walked away. I waited 5 full minutes before checking the windows. I walked around the house with the lights off and looked through the blinds. I saw him standing across the street near the tree line. He was just standing there facing my house.
Yeah, just call the police.
After maybe a minute, he walked off into the darkness. I relocked every window and door again, even though they were already locked. The next day, I called the local police non-emergency line and explained what had been happening. The officer I spoke to said it sounded like someone trying to verify occupancy. He said sometimes burglars will knock to see if someone answers before trying to break in later.
Oh, yeah.
He told me to install cameras if I could and
Yep.
to call 911 if the man came back.
Yep.
That night, I left all the lights off in the front of the house and stayed in my bedroom. Around 8:45, right on time, there were 4 knocks. I didn't respond at all. After a few seconds, 4 more. Then silence. I waited about a minute. Then I heard something else. A soft thud against the back of my house, and then another. I realized it sounded like someone testing the back door. I grabbed my phone and quietly walked into the hallway. I could hear the back doorknob turning slowly, and then stopping, and then turning again. I called 911 like I was instructed and whispered that someone was trying to get into my house.
Smart.
While I was on the phone, the knocking started again at the front door. The dispatcher told me officers were on the way. The back doorknob kept turning. There was more than one person. Then I heard the sound of something metal scraping lightly against the doorframe. After about 30 seconds, everything stopped. Even as it was totally silent though, I stayed on the phone until the police arrived. When they searched the outside of the house, they found fresh pry marks on the back door near the handle. The officer told me if I hadn't been home, the door likely would have been forced open. They drove around but didn't find anyone suspicious. The next night, I stayed at my brother's apartment across town.
Smart.
I didn't tell anyone on social media or anything that I wasn't home. I just left. Around 9 p.m., my phone rang. It was my neighbor from 2 houses down. She said there was someone standing on my porch knocking repeatedly. She said he had been there for at least 5 minutes. She asked if I was home. I told her no and asked if he had a vehicle. She said she didn't see one. I told her to call the police. Officers arrived and questioned him. Later that night, an officer called me and said the man claimed he was trying to deliver a package, but he misplaced it. He had no company ID and no marked vehicle. They warned him to stay away from the property. 2 days later, police arrested him in a nearby neighborhood after he was caught attempting to break into a house where the owner was out of town. In his car, they found multiple empty cardboard boxes and a small handheld scanner that wasn't connected to any real delivery company. During questioning, he admitted he would knock with a fake package first. If someone answered, he would leave and mark the house as occupied. If no one answered after multiple attempts, he would come back later and force entry. He told the
What a terrible robber. What a shit robber. Bro, you already knocked in like every single time you... Robber's not really that smart, to be honest, right? Look, if you're trying to rob someone and see if the house has got occupancy, just look at the lights. Just look at the windows. Okay, that light's on. Okay, next house. Hey. Oh, look, the living room light's on. You know what I mean? I mean, sure, knocking at the beginning, right? But, like, I think it'd be pretty stupid to do it like multiple times, you know? Honestly though, this is like one of the smartest girls I've heard. Bro, this girl is kind of smart. She's good. Door chain lock, check. Okay, no security cameras, fine. She was warned. Okay, police. Yep. The smart thing is staying at home with her family instead of living alone. Hey, smart, you know?
Detectives that sometimes you would knock several nights in a row to see if the pattern changed. If lights were on one night and off the next, he assumed the house was empty. Hearing that made me realize how close I was to not being home that first week. If I had ignored the door on one of those early nights, he probably would have come back later expecting no one inside.
Again, terrible robbers. Like, check the car, check.
I moved out of that house 3 months later when my lease ended.
3 months later, okay, so you might as well not even mention it.
I still don't answer the door at night unless I know exactly who's coming over.
Yep,
If
security
someone
cameras.
knocks unexpectedly, I stay quiet and check cameras first. And
Yep.
If anyone ever shows up with a package that has my address but not my name, I don't even go near the door anymore.
Tip, when you order stuff online, it kind of depends actually, honestly. But when you have things online, if they're okay, you've got multiple things, right? When you're getting packages, it's either you get the signature, but they usually come at like a time they'll warn you. Most of the modern times now have trackers as well. Like the company will literally send you an email or text message saying, "Hey, if you click on this link," okay, that sounds like a scam, not gonna lie. They basically send you a tracker, right? They'll be like, "Hey, you can see our post office car if you click here, and you can track it, and you'll exactly know when we come." It really depends on the package. Also, most of the time packages are just left at the front as well. Also, that's why you kind of need a compound as well, because if you have a compound, then they can enter in and, you know. Yeah, it's pretty simple. I mean, usually just packages just have them outside, and then like security cams will pop up whenever they pick it up. There's not really many package thieves in New Zealand, to be honest. Main reason is because getting caught in New Zealand is pretty easy, right? It's like such a small, not small, but like, where are you gonna go? Where are you gonna go? Swim? Swim across the ocean? You're right. This only thing you can do is like escape to, like the farmlands, right? But even then, like, don't know. Package dev, yeah. So this girl's just pretty smart, you know. Most of the things ticked off, yeah. However, if you're a woman, right, you might as well just live with your parents if you're a graphic designer, right? Like, why would you live alone? Chloe P, another woman. Lock in. Not a woman. Chloe.
This story starts in the lead up to Christmas.
Christmas.
To set the scene, I live near Glasgow in Scotland. I stay with my parents, siblings, cats, and dogs. We're a close-knit
Bro, live with the entire whole family. Okay.
family and often spend nights together in the living room watching TV, playing games, and catching up on our lives. At the time of this story, I was 16, turning 17. I was in high school, but getting closer to leaving and starting my education outside of it. In the days leading up to Christmas,
Fuck, I gotta take a piss. Hold on. Editing magic. Boom. And I've returned.
during one of those late nights together, we were watching A Christmas Carol. We often have movie nights around Christmas, and it's one of my favorite things about that time of year. During the movie, we heard a knock at the door. This wasn't unusual, so we didn't think much of it. My mom got up to answer it, but nobody was there. The street was empty. Our garden wraps from the front of the house around to the back, so she checked along the side of the house too, but there was nobody there either. She came back inside, and we resumed the movie. A few days later, I was sitting at the living room table doing exam work when I heard another knock. I paused my work and went to answer the door, but again, nobody was there. We assumed it was probably neighborhood kids playing a prank. Where I'm from, kids sometimes get bored and cause trouble instead of finding something better to do. In Scotland, there's a game called Chappie, where kids knock on someone's door and run away laughing. It's stupid, but as a kid, the adrenaline rush of someone opening the door to nobody there can be weirdly fun.
I don't know, man. I'm pretty sure when I ever did that, I never did it when I was a kid. But I do remember once when I was a little child, you know, trick or treat with the boys. I remember we did that once, and when we opened the door to this, like, no, we played trick or treat. I don't know how I was. I was like really really little, right? A whole group of like, you know, a whole group of us, right? I think it was like 2 adults as well. No, 2 teenagers. What was his name? Crap. Starts with A. I can't remember his name, but he was an older guy, right? You know. I remember we went to this house, trick or treat. This old dude opened it, and his living room literally looked like a horror thing. I was like, what the? You got like creepy ass dolls hanging on the walls, and he literally said, "Hey, you want to come in for some more candy?" In front of like 8 boys. He's like, "Hey, you want to come inside for more?" I was like, all of us were like, "What? No." Well, obviously the adults were like, "What? No." Creepy ass house. Matter of fact, I probably can find the location. I know exactly where it is. I wonder if they're still there. But what? How is that related to the story? I don't know. Who plays Who plays that game anyways? Knock on the door and run away, bro. You're gonna get kidnapped. GG.
We have a family group chat where we keep each other updated on things, and throughout that week, several family members mentioned experiencing the same thing. The one that stood out the most was something my dad experienced. At the time, my dad usually stayed up later than everyone else, either playing Xbox or watching shows once the house was quiet. One night around 11:30, when the street was silent and all the kids would have been inside, he heard a very quiet knock. He was confused because of the time. He checked through the peephole before opening the door, but he saw nobody. He slowly unlocked and opened the door to look outside. Again, nobody was there, just a quiet, empty street. He locked the door and came upstairs to ask if anyone had heard it, but because the knock was so quiet, nobody else had.
It might be just
This
tripping.
started to unsettle us because it had been happening repeatedly. Nobody had ever seen or heard anyone outside except for the
cameras?
knocking itself.
Cameras?
Usually when kids do this, you hear them laughing or running away.
Cameras?
This felt different. Christmas Day is when everything escalated. We spent the day with family, opening presents, sharing gifts, watching movies, playing games, and eating way too much food. It was a great day. Later that night, I felt sick from eating so much, which I always do Christmas, so I went upstairs to lie down. I ended up dozing off and woke up hours later. When I checked my phone, it said 2:01 a.m. Everyone else was in bed and the house was completely silent. I knew I wouldn't be able to fall back asleep because once I woke up, it's hard for me to sleep again no matter what time it is. I stayed on my phone in the dark scrolling social media.
I was gonna be like, hey, fair enough, right? Time to hit to the gym, you know? No point in going back to sleep anyways, right? Oh, never mind, just go on my phone. What? You know what, though? To give in context, it is a 16-year-old girl, okay? She can't just go to the gym in the morning. She just gotta stay home, so fair enough then, you know? It is what it is. Just go on your phone, stay home, stay safe, alright?
Media instead of turning the TV on, watching Christmas present haul videos and messaging friends who are still awake. It's normal during Christmas break when there's no school or responsibilities, and you try to enjoy the freedom before going back to exams and routines. After a while, I heard a faint knock. I wasn't sure if it came from my door, my window, or if I imagined it. I sat up.
Didn't you say that you have, like, dogs and cats? I wouldn't be surprised if it's just a cat. If you have a dog, wouldn't the dog notice as well? Just saying. Sounds like you don't even have a dog here.
Straight in bed, staring into the dark room with my heart racing. I didn't want to move. I knew nobody should be outside at that time on Christmas night. I didn't know if the past few weeks were just getting into my head, or if someone was actually inside the house. My room is on the 2nd floor, so someone being at my window would be very unlikely. After what felt like forever, I finally worked up the courage to open my bedroom door. As I did, I heard what sounded like footsteps coming up the stairs. My brain immediately assumed it was my dad coming up to bed after staying up late like he usually did. I stepped into view of the staircase to tell him I was still awake and heard the knocking again. That's when I realized it wasn't my dad. It was a man I'd never seen before. I immediately felt sick when I saw him. I wondered if this was the person behind all the knocking. He was already inside the house.
How?
He was staggering as he climbed the stairs and looked heavily intoxicated. I slowly backed into my room, luckily without him seeing me, and I quietly shut my door. I could hear him walking around and opening doors, going into each room one by one. I remember thinking it was only a matter of time before he reached mine.
Isn't this house full? You got dad, you got mom, your siblings. How do you even get in?
I completely froze and didn't know what to do.
Scream?
It felt like all my common sense disappeared. Eventually, I opened my door slightly and saw him coming out of my younger sister's room.
What?
That's when my brain finally kicked back into action.
What?
I ran to my parents' room and woke them up, telling them there was a man inside the house. My mom woke up instantly while my dad was still groggy.
Yo, what?
We went downstairs together and found the man passed out on the couch with my dad's beers opened and scattered around him.
That's crazy.
My mom shouted at him to get out. He woke slightly and angrily insisted the house belonged to him. We tried to get him up, but he was completely dead weight. My mom slapped him trying to wake him, but he barely reacted. A few minutes later, my dad came fully downstairs, saw what
What do you mean your dad came down a few minutes later? What's wrong with his family? The mum went and slapped him a bit. She went there, slapped the straight machine. Hey, get out my house! Get out my house! My husband ain't down here yet though. He'll be here in like 2 minutes though. Bro, that man has slight more conscience. He would beat everyone up. He would be like, my house. Woman, boom, gone. 16-year-old girl, boom, gone. Father still asleep. Why would you not? You should wait for the father. Hello. What do you mean 2 minutes later he came down? Let's listen to it real quick. Hold on.
barely reacted. A few minutes later,
A few minutes later. So after you slapped him, the husband's still upstairs. The father's still upstairs? That doesn't make any sense.
my dad came fully downstairs, saw what was happening, and immediately took control of the situation.
That still mind boggles me. I'm not gonna lie. What do you mean by a few minutes later? He should have been like up already and like he should be the first one to confront the man. Why would you let the mum confront him first? That could have gone so much worse.
He shouted at the man that this was not his house and threatened him to leave. The man refused. My dad eventually had to physically lift him off the couch and drag him out the side door.
What kind of... Either he's like a flimsy drunk man or like a weak one. Because like, I wouldn't even confront... Depends, right? If it was like a 6-foot black man, grab your family members and just, step out the house and call the police. Or like, get a gun, or... It must have been like some kind of lanky man, right? If you're so bold enough to like move him yourself.
He forced him outside and warned him not to come back before shutting the door.
Huh?
We thought it was finally over,
What do you mean it's fine?
but seconds later, glass suddenly shattered toward us.
What? What's going on in the story?
Thought it was finally outside and warned him not to come back
He went in your house. You warned him to get out the house. Police? Hello? Police?
before shutting the door. We thought it was finally over, but seconds later, glass suddenly shattered toward us. The man had punched through the window, sending broken glass inside. He pushed his face inside the broken glass like something out of The Shining while my dad went to call the police.
Now he calls the police?
The man started shouting aggressive threats, saying he now owned the house, that he knew what we looked like, and that he would return. Needless to say, we were all in shock. It was hard to believe someone would do something like this on Christmas night. Eventually he left, and the police arrived. They took statements from all of us. Mine was the longest since I had seen him first. Not long after, the police left. Luckily, because it was the winter, it had snowed that night, which is actually rare where we live since we usually just get slush. There was a clear trail of blood leading down the street.
I was gonna say.
Police followed it to a nearby playground where they found the man lying on the ground with blood and glass in his hands.
Yep.
They arrested him after, and later confirmed they believed he was the intruder. Our window was replaced the next morning. We told my siblings what had happened. Surprisingly, they slept through the whole thing, probably knocked out from all the Christmas food. Later, I got a restraining order against the man because of my age and the threats he made. He was fined for the damage and given community service instead of jail time. When police questioned him about the weeks of knocking at our door before the incident, he claimed he knew nothing about that and denied ever doing it. It turned out, he actually lived in our house years before we moved in. He claimed there was no bad intention and said he had simply drank too much while out with friends and accidentally went into the wrong house.
You know, he wasn't that aggressive. He could have been far more aggressive. But still, this family should have just... Family played it off really risky, I must say. Okay, first of all, the mother slapped him and woke him up. Get out of my house. Father came down. What you really should do in that situation is kind of gather everybody up. Alright? Call the police. Alright? It's either you gather your whole family and hide in the bedroom with like a shot, or at least take the females away, right? Or leave the house with your depends as well. But he must have been physically weak or something, right? Because pretty risky to... I mean, no, it made it sound like... The story makes it sound like they were like, please get out the house. Oh, yeah, get out the house. Father, come on, bro, you're drunk. Get out the house. I don't know.
Thankfully, nobody in our family was seriously hurt. The only injury was my mom bruising her wrist from slapping him while wearing bracelets. Apparently that hurts you more than the person you hit. To this day, we still have no explanation for the knocking that happened before that night. Even now, sometimes I feel like I hear a knock late at night. Maybe it's just in my head, or maybe it isn't. I guess I'll never know if it was him or someone else out there watching.
This family doesn't know how to... This family, man. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate it, right? The little story time. It's been a while since we've done story time, 2 episodes since we've done story time. Alright, we are at 2. We're at 2 out of 4. Alright, I'll see you guys next time, right? Bye-bye.